So they're saying 4.8, and the center was Bridgewater, New Jersey.
Holy crap.
And people who are not used to having earthquakes and feeling earthquakes, they're like, what is going on?
Hey, did it go up and down or did it go side to side? It means something different.
Getting a description.
Ohio had earthquakes. What were we on Thursday? There were earthquakes yesterday as well.
You know, but California has earthquakes every day.
Right. No, I understand that because y'all on the San Andreas line.
Yeah.
But for the East Coast to be having these many earthquakes, this is not normal.
It's not normal. Usually,
but it's happened before. It happened when I was a teenager.
Right, but it doesn't happen this often.
I think I felt one in 2008 when I was in New York. 2008, 2009.
Debo, are you there? I think your mic is muted. He's not there. I'm going to bring him down because someone else wanted to come up. So I was trying to let him speak before I bring him down, but he's not saying anything. Hold on.
Does anybody have a globe? Where's Taiwan opposite of us? If you're like, I mean, the Earth is all connected. Bleh. I need coffee.
This is.
It's another 10 hours to your east if you're in New York.
Thank you. I'm in Florida, but I'd rather go through a hurricane than a earthquake any day.
Absolutely.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hey.
Good morning.
Good morning. We had one in North Carolina today.
Huh.
See?
Another East Coaster. Wow.
Yeah. Tennessee, North Carolina line.
I don't feel that's an aftershock. If the one earthquake started in New Jersey and you're trying to say 10 and it was only 4.7, how is it then that it's felt all the way down to North Carolina through to Tennessee?
No, it wasn't part of that. We registered our own. They just put it up on the news about an hour ago.
Captain, isn't that what I just said when the other guy said, oh, it was just aftershock, it's just aftershock that everybody's feeling? I'm like, in my head, like, no, because it's going too far wide. You're saying PovCam that you guys registered it yourself. There was another one in North Carolina. Okay.
Yeah, probably. I think it does have to do with the eclipse, and then also, you know, everything going on with global warming, because it's not normal for us to have them over here.
You know, a lot of it has to do with the tectonic plates along each coastline.
No, it's not abnormal for the East Coast to have earthquakes.
No, it's not.
Yeah. That's not, and the Earth.
I have lived in South Florida the majority of my life, and the most I've experienced are hurricanes.
Of course.
I have not really experienced earthquakes, and I am 51 years of age.
We're the same age. I just think, like, they were up in the Northeast. I don't know how far south, but this isn't to do with. So the Earth is apparently all the solar flares are going down. This is going to be the last of them, and they're going to start decreasing, and we're going to go into a. I was just watching a presentation last night that we're going to start going into a cooling period, potentially quickly.
Here, because once I started getting alerts that we were having earthquakes, and you know, we were just talking about that yesterday, about the earthquake that happened in Ohio and Taiwan and all the stuff that's going on. Like, what is really happening here?
Hey, pull it up on the Google and see if you and put it on the screen, and you'll think what I'm thinking, in a sense, as far as that Forbes.com Doomsday America map. It's the fault line, and it takes out New York all the way down to Texas. There's a line that just turns to straight water, as well as the San Andreas fault falling off and half of California or the majority of California and the West Coast dissipating. But, that again is just conspiracy theory.
Allegedly, yeah, all of that entertainment purposes only, allegedly, all that stuff you have to say. It's just weird for me. It's weird for me. And
Well,
some people don't feel that this has anything to do with the eclipse, and that's fine if that's the way you feel. Listen.
But we were talking about Miami last night and what happened on New Year's Eve too. So I mean,
that they're not even talking about.
that they're not.
They're
Yeah,
not even
exactly.
talking about.
And then, I figured out how to. Well, I didn't figure
What
out. I
happened
knew
in
I could
Miami?
screen record today, and I screen recorded
Oh, the
see
aliens.
video of like the pictures my wife sent me from the 30th of March about that picture that I was taking of the sun and the globe, or the three moons, or the three whatever planets that is around the sun that moves constantly at a significant speed.
Yeah. So
It was a
wait,
4.8 magnitude down in Delaware County. My whole house shook.
and someone tried to come on here, Latifa, and said, "Oh, that was just aftershock." No,
No, it
because
wasn't.
someone on here also said they're in North Carolina near Tennessee line, and they registered an earthquake this morning as well. So it wasn't the aftershock from New Jersey; it was a second earthquake.
I
Yeah.
didn't even know until like you sent me that invite to come to your live about an earthquake. I mean, I live in the mountains of South Carolina, upstate South Carolina, so I didn't even know there was an earthquake in that area today until I just
people-
pulled this open.
People are
So,
commenting there was a 6.9 one. So these are all separate earthquakes then, because everybody in a different area is registering a different magnitude.
So real quick,
Is
let
it?
me just tell you guys really quick. There's like 2,000 people on here. Can we just tap on the screen and like this live? Because when I start glitching out, it's because they think nothing is happening in this live. I mean, if you don't want to tap the screen and like the live, you can also exit the live. That's fine with me as well. I could care less either way. But some people have been asking in the comment, what are we talking about? What happened in Miami? So Latifah, are you in Miami? You don't know what happened on New Year's Eve?
No, I'm not in Miami. I'm in Delaware County, Upper Darby. So I'm not sure. I guess I missed the loop.
Or
Okay,
some
so what
aliens.
happened New Year's Eve in South Florida at Bayside Mall in Miami? The whole mall went crazy. Everybody started running out because they were saying they saw 3 entities 8 foot to 10 feet tall. They had over 100 police cars respond. They had Black Hawk helicopters in the air. They shut down Miami International Airport for 2.5 hours. And then the story they came out with was they said it was 4 kids playing with fireworks in the mall. And that's what happened. You had black SUVs pulling up. They had scrambler devices going on because people who lived in condos 2 blocks away from Bayside Mall said that their phones started shutting off. They were shutting off everything in that area because they said 4 kids were playing with fireworks in the mall. Okay. We are now in what, April? There have been no conversation about what happened that night in Miami at Bayside Mall. Nobody, they were asking people for their phones running out the mall. They had feds standing there stopping people. My sister is a firefighter down in Florida. She has a lot of friends who are police officers in Dade County. We called like 3 of them and was like, "Hey, what's up? What happened at Bayside?" All 3 of their responses were, "We're not allowed to talk about it."
Hey, I pulled that up on YouTube this morning on my TV because I wanted to, see it. And there is news media outlets that do have video, and there's on the outside of
you
that mall, there's like this
shadowy
3-foot
Yeah.
figures
thing
outside
Can
the
I
mall.
around on
can
the
I add
concrete.
something else to that?
But
So
there-
I saw a TikToker lady that was following the story, and she pulled up the coordinates from where it happened, and she reversed the coordinates, and
And
it
where
pulled
did
up
it
somewhere
land? Tell them.
Antarctica.
Yep.
Yep,
Yeah.
that was
That's
told.
the only
That
one
was
that's
said
allowed
last
to
night,
go
too.
there.
Yeah, that was, and nobody can go there because the treaty that was signed in 1958 Nobody's allowed to go to Antarctica.
It was signed in 1959 after
Mhm.
Byrd, the pilot who went into Antarctica, came out basically saying, no, I saw stuff that were not of this earth
Yeah, the reptilians,
there.
and then
And then he died of heart issues in 57 afterwards because they couldn't repute anything he said because he was such an upstanding pilot in his title and his level of where he was in the military. So instead, he, died. He was.
They killed him.
I don't want to say unalive. He passed away.
They killed him.
No, we can't say that on live.
But that's what happened.
He passed away of heart issues, and then within a year and a half, 2 years later, all these nations got together. Now, they can't never agree on nothing, but they can all agree that they're going to section off Antarctica, and no one is allowed to fly over it, come near it, or anything else in this area. So, I mean, come on. They
Yeah,
also
it's
did the
definitely
same
some
thing in
weird
the
stuff
Grand
going on.
Canyon. They also did the same thing in the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, because
NASA
there's
owns a portion of
hieroglyphics.
the Grand Canyon.
There's
Why would
hieroglyphics.
NASA own a portion of the Grand Canyon?
There's hieroglyphics inside the Grand Canyon, and it's highly secured area. You can't.
This is insane.
Mm-hmm.
This
They
is
hiding
insane.
something.
This is insane. And now everybody is going off about them feeling earthquakes. There is clearly something happening here. And people want to say, oh, no, it doesn't have anything to do with the eclipse. You can believe that if you want to. If you want to, that's fine. If that's the stance you're going to take and you're going to believe that it has nothing to do with the eclipse and all the random things that have been going on.
Well, you
fine,
got to
so be it.
understand science. The moon controls the tide. Usually when there's an earthquake or something of that nature, it usually is a signal for another natural disaster. So, which is usually a tsunami. So they're
Well,
saying right now there's not no indicator that there's going to be a tsunami near the Mexican Gulf, but you have an eclipse coming. And like I said, the moon controls the tide. So, in Islam, because I'm Islamic, we see the eclipse as an opportunity to pray. Not to mention we are in Ramadan, and that is like literally the last day of Ramadan. So,
and also let me just add to that because I just found out about this last night on the live. Something about some ritual or some worship thing that's going on the day of the eclipse with the 5 red heifers in Israel. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, we're more connected to it than people think. It affects gravity, but not just that, it affects your emotions and everything. That's why they used to do a lot of rituals in history back in the day. I mean, I'm Mexican. If you go back to Mexico with the Aztecs and everything, they always had to do rituals when the eclipse came because they felt spiritually connected to it.
yep, and it's even written in Islam, the Prophet Muhammad will use it as an opportunity to pray about certain things. So that's what I plan on doing, going out, seeing it, praying, especially because it's so close to Ramadan. So,
Hi, I
would like
put
to say
Nicole up and I
something.
put Denise. Wait a second, you guys. I put Nicole up and Denise. I just want them to be able to speak real quick. Nicole?
Hi guys. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Hi. I agree with. Unfortunately, hi host. Thank you for inviting me onto the panel. I disagree with everyone on the panel. I feel like this is the cause of people's actions to the environment. I feel that people are not taking care of the environment, and they have done nothing to support the environment, and that is why we are having these issues that we are having.
I agree.
And I listen. To some degree, that is correct because we have done so much wrong to this earth and think that it was going to be okay. And the earth may be speaking back saying, no, it was never okay. You guys have came, you've destroyed, you've desecrated, and
Deforestation.
Yeah. So you know what? I don't disagree with that, Nicole. I'm just gonna say that. I don't fully agree, but I don't disagree as well. I think there's other things going on in line with that as well.
Hi guys. Thank you for inviting me up. I was just passing through, and so you guys think there's some kind of correlation between the eclipse and the earthquake that we just felt?
Yes,
Is that what
Yeah,
I'm hearing?
it's not just that one earthquake. There's been consistent earthquakes going on for the past few months.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
There was
Okay.
a earthquake on Sunday in California because someone on the panel said they're in California. They had an earthquake on Sunday. They had a earthquake on Saturday in Dayton, Ohio, which is on the New Madrid line. Someone just said they just had the earthquake today in North Carolina near the Tennessee line. Someone else is in Delaware, felt an earthquake, and then there was one that was felt in New Jersey, but New York, Connecticut, portions of Connecticut, Virginia, Pennsylvania, all felt that earthquake as well.
Yeah, and any type of gravity movement, anything with planetary movement that affects Earth, that we can especially visually see it affects the waves. It affects everything in nature.
Yeah,
All
the
the animals.
tectonic plates.
Yeah, everything. I mean, it's not just right now, but this major event does have something to do with it because, like I said, it affects everything. Any type of planet moving, coming close, or even something that's not normal is gonna affect our Earth no matter what. It's science.
Has anybody done any research polls just out of curiosity?
I mean, I haven't. I haven't. I'm just listening and observing.
Because there's been some weird weather patterns the past couple of days. Like here in South Carolina right now, it's beautiful, sunny, but it's like 60 degrees outside. Yeah, 2 days ago it was like 80, and then when the sun went down, it got down to like 40. I know that might be just springtime, but I've never really remembered any type of weather pattern changing either.
But people are saying they don't think 1 and 2 are connected. So I'm like, okay, oh, okay. You can believe that if you want to, but I think 1 and 2 are connected. I'm just saying. I went ahead and put this up because I was able to get an updated one. 4.8 earthquake magnitude, 2 miles from Tewksbury, New Jersey. So it's showing where the Tewksbury, New Jersey. So it's showing where the Tewksbury, New Jersey. So hold on, you guys. I'm on the thing. I'm gonna have to drop everybody down and bring everybody back up because it is echoing. That means that I need people to tap on the screen, like the live, share it so that it doesn't glitch me out. And I'm going to try to bring you guys back up that were just on if you send a request to come back up. Hold on, I don't see. See, they're glitching me right now. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? I'm looking for the people that were just up, but I don't see you. So I'm going to put 4 new people up. You guys, they're glitching me. So
Hi, yeah, we could hear you. Guys, I have some information that I would like to share with everyone that's listening and in the platform. I don't know if everybody is aware of like the whole situation where our tectonic plates and an electromagnetic pool and the situation with this eclipse. It marks 3,200 years on Monday the 8th. It actually falls on the same date. that we had the 3 days of darkness and the 3 plagues started back then. I'm not talking about religion, guys. I'm just going into a basic information. This is why books are invented, because they pass down through history and they tell us things that other civilizations have endured. This is not the first time we've seen something like this. The last time that this happened, it created the first ice age. If anybody knows anything about biology and physics, when a big planet blocks the electromagnetic pull from our planet, the titanic plates are held by an electromagnetic pull. Once that is not active or on, because there's a planet blocking it, the titanic plates begin to move. And if we fall into a,
That's what I said. You're
Yeah,
speaking the truth.
exactly.
if we
You
fall
guys
into
let him
a,
finish. You guys let him finish.
if we fall into a 3 days of darkness, I don't know if, you know, back in Egypt when this happened, it was 3,200 years ago. It's like I'm explaining to y'all. Go into your research, start looking. Guys, it's out there. The information is out there. Believe me, I could send y'all to some links where y'all might be able to get some of this information. And I'm talking about military personnel, government agencies that are talking about this happening right now. NASA, you know, there's a lot of things that they're not telling us. If you look at certain things, when we deploy our troops into government, let's say missions, one of the first things that everybody does is what? Isolate the population by destroying the bridges. I'm not saying that this is what our own government is doing it to us. I'm just saying that there's ways to control the masses. And if you notice, certain things have been happening, like the whole set a few minutes ago. There's been earthquakes for a few months. Now bridges are beginning to damage. Now all of a sudden in New York City, I'm currently in New York City, they just shut down all of the bridges for some reason, supposedly to check that there's no damages to the bridges. What they're doing is they're containing people. If y'all look at the chart, going to any earthquake or any of the storm chase guys that actually have a visual pattern of the graph of what's happening. At 1 in the morning, we had a 1.1. At 3 in the morning, we had like a 3 point something. Now we have one that's 4.7.
Yeah,
Are
and
increasing.
that's what I said. The first one I had
They're
up here,
getting worse.
that was at 1:53 a.m. and that was a 2.2 at 1:53 a.m. in New York. They felt a 2.2 magnitude. Now they're saying it's in Jersey at 4.7 or
From
4.8.
my understanding, guys, I think this is going to continue and it's going to start getting worse. They're going to start getting stronger as more of the electromagnetic pool starts decreasing because of the blockage of the sun. The moon is also something that controls our tides. If y'all look at anything in astrology right now, they're not even aligned together. So we don't understand how this eclipse is happening, because if you look at a chart right now, we're supposed to be coming into Aquarius, right? If anybody follows
I
horoscopes and
just
things,
said
Yeah,
this.
that's true.
I just
That's
said
true.
this
the
yesterday.
planets
Yes,
are not
yes.
aligned in
I
no
just said this
way
yesterday.
or form. The planets are aligned. So whatever's happening is something like, I hate to use that term, but almost biblical, because there's no scientific way right now that could explain the sun blocking the moon. They're not on the same pattern. They're not right directly in front of each other and in front of our planet. Oh, yeah, that's the next one. They've been watching us for a while. I don't know whether it's our government or someone else, but I do tell you this, guys, I expect this
Our
to get worse.
government has said they have no clue whose satellite this is. And the other part of this is this satellite has been up there for years, and it was at a distance
Exactly.
at first, and now it has moved closer in the past few years to the earth. And every single country has said this is not their satellite. They have no clue whose satellite it is. And it looks small on this picture. This is the Black Knight satellite
Uh-huh.
that's been
Yes,
orbiting
it is.
out. This thing looks small here, but this thing is massive.
It's the size of a city.
It's massive. And they have no clue. They haven't been able to communicate with anything in it. They haven't been able to see anything. They say it's just sitting there as if it's dormant, but it's not dormant because it's moved closer to the earth in the past few years. That's all I'm saying. You guys call it conspiracy theory, propaganda, whatever. I'm calling it. You better be aware and you better be paying attention.
Which is why I'm saying what I'm saying, guys. I suggest everybody get flashlights, get candles, get first aid resources, things, because I think this is not gonna stop. The events are gonna get a little more worse. And if we do fall under like 3 days of no sunlight, by blocking the UV rays, whatever the moon controls the water, the tides are gonna rise and everything is gonna freeze over. This is how we had our first ice age, guys. And it happened exactly 3,000 something years ago. This is not something that's not new. This has been happening for a while. This is how the earth, I believe this is how the earth cleans itself. You know, it freezes everything over. And then what happens to something that is liquefied and then frozen into a solid and then melted? You get germs, you get fungi, you get certain things that this is how we develop. We actually germs to this planet. And I think we are about to face one. I think they've been telling us for years with like movies like 2012, The Day After Tomorrow, you know, it's today. And
We
not
have
today,
Obama
but
putting out Leave the World Behind. We have Obama
exactly.
putting out Leave the World Behind. And look how he chose to end that movie.
Look at Elon Musk trying to start a whole new civilization in Mars for some reason. Why?
It-
It's
You know,
it's
like, we gotta pay attention. I suggest everybody, please keep your children by and your loved ones. If you have elderly, bring them over to ya, because I think that this is just the beginning.
But
I
this
think as the
Listen, this isn't even just it. Why have they closed so many schools during the eclipse?
baby girl, all of the
The day
bridges
of
are
the
closed in New York
eclipse.
City right
They've
now. All
closed
of the
so
bridges,
many schools the day of the eclipse. And everybody's like, for a 4-minute eclipse? Like when I
Mhm.
was young and we had eclipse, we still went to school. When they
It's
had
not
the
gonna
eclipse
last
back
4
in
minutes. It's gonna
2017,
last
they
3
didn't do
days.
all of this.
That's what
Yeah.
they're not telling you. It's not gonna last 4 minutes. It's gonna last 3 days.
Debbie, I'm
could I jump
sorry,
in?
you've been on here. I'm sorry, Elle. Let me let Debbie speak because I'm
Yes,
sorry, I
go
put
ahead,
her on
guys.
and I just noticed I didn't let her speak yet. Debbie, is she there?
Hey, could I jump in real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can
All
you
right, so
hear
check
me?
it.
Oh, wait,
You got
Debbie is here. Go ahead, Debbie.
Yes, ma'am. It's okay. I'm listening. I agree with you, what you're saying and everything. But here's my question to all of you. Do you believe or not believe that our government's involved with this?
To an
I
extent.
believe our government had knowledge for many years of something going to happen. And it's clear that they have been prepping. The fact that NASA's thinking to put 3 rockets out during the eclipse, the fact that CERN is deciding to turn back on their machine the day of the eclipse, the fact that we have something called the Devil's Comet passing and in view at the time of the eclipse. There are too many things happening. And somebody said on my live yesterday, oh, it's just coincidence. And I'm like, there's no such thing.
Yeah, no, they're
as
trying to make it.
Exactly. Exactly, hon.
I think
Exactly.
these rockets.
I
these
just
rockets-
share, I'm not
Go ahead.
very tech knowledge, but I just shared this with a lot of my good people. I'm seeing a lot of good comments and you all talk about, a lot of good things here. Just tell me something. When you're done with this post here and I share it, will people be able to still come on it?
I don't know. I think so, but I'm not sure how this thing works. So
Okay.
Y'all be
Yeah,
able to
that's-
comment with each other.
Do what?
Y'all be able to comment through the commentary with each other. Once,
oh, okay.
Okay.
once she ends
Okay.
the live,
I
anybody
appreciate you doing this live because there's a lot of good talk here. So keep up your post and hopefully I could jump on when I get back on TikTok and everything.
Okay,
That's
Debbie.
fine.
Thank you.
All right. Y'all have a blessed day.
You too.
likewise. Guys, batteries, self-powered things, we won't have sun. So solar power things will not work. The electromagnetic pulse, if it starts affecting us, it's like a EMD going off, which anything that's like electrical is gonna be down for a couple of days maybe. This is things that we got to start looking into, self-preservation right now.
Let Mix Mass speak really quick because I've had him up here as well, and
Go
then we're gonna come back. Just you guys mute your mic. Mix, are you there?
Yeah, hey, check it. You guys heard of the Hopi prophecy, right?
Absolutely. We
The
were
blue
talking about that
kachina,
last night on my
Yes.
live.
the blue kachina, the red kachina, basically is Nibiru and the blue comet. So what's gonna happen is the continents are gonna split. So the Madrid fault is gonna split. The San Andreas fault is gonna split. So I'm pretty much screwed because I live in California. I really hate to break this knowledge to you guys. It's facts. Why do you think the National Guard's getting involved? They know. The Vatican knows. Why do you think they're doing their crazy worshiping
Listen, I got
around Jesus?
ex-military. I'm
Yeah, around
ex-military, and they
Jesus'
tell me.
temple, the rabbis over there in Jerusalem right now, they're gonna do their worshiping of the heifers.
Yep.
That's prophesied. So
Yep.
this is no joke. I want everybody to know. Look, I don't want to scare anybody. I'm just saying. Just think about everything I just said. And what's his name? L. I'll just call you L. He's right. Everything he was talking about is legit. It's gonna be a blackout for probably
Look, I
3
didn't want to
days.
say it like
And
this,
on
but I'm
top of that,
I'm
no, hold on,
military
hold on.
personnel.
On top of that, you're gonna start seeing demonic creatures. Trust, and it's already been prophesied. So that's all I got.
Well, I won't take it as far as there, but I do believe that we are gonna be faced with look, if
El,
this
before
starts
you
happening,
talk really quick, before you go really quick, we have over 1,000 people in here, and I keep getting glitched. Can we get our likes up to 70,000? Because we have 1,000 people in here, just tap the screen,
please
like
stop the
the
screen.
live, share it, because we've been having these lives going on now for the last few days, and I like to let everybody speak. I have Mark up here on the panel. Mark, I'm waiting. Let me let them speak, and then I'm going to get to you because Mark is the one who lives in Dayton, Ohio. And he was giving us some information in reference to the earthquakes and what was going on. But I'm going to let him speak after everybody else. But if you guys could tap the screen, like the live, get us up to 80,000 likes so that they don't come and start glitching me like they like to, and share the live, because I want to hear what everyone has to say, because there's a lot of stuff coming out. There's a lot of information people are sharing that a lot of us didn't know, because we don't live in the world where we thought we had to pay attention to certain things. And now we're seeing we just might need to be paying very close attention, because
Wow.
clearly our government is not going to tell us, because they
My-
could give two shits, because
They
they're
just-
preserving themselves at this moment.
Yes,
They're
they
not
shut down all the
preserving us.
bridges in
They're
New York
preserving
City, guys.
themselves.
They shut down all the bridges. My sister's crying right now. She's speaking to her husband. She can't cross over from Jersey to New York right now. All of the bridges are closed. So if anybody could hear me from New York City, if you headed towards a bridge, the bridges are closed right now as we speak. They are being checked for
What in
damages.
the world?
They are being checked for damages of the structure, supposedly. All of the bridges in New York right now are closed.
Jesus. All right, Mark, go ahead, Mark.
Well, first of all, good morning. I was listening as I was scrolling through the.
That's the alerts.
I just got an alert as well. That's why you're glitching. They sending them out.
Yep. Go ahead, Mark. Sorry.
What you're witnessing right now and what you're hearing from the phones that are going off, this is the status of brace for shock. This is everything that you've been watching, different videos, different people talking about. This is going to happen, that's going to happen. Well, it's happening right now.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Let me
I'm
say this
military
really quick.
personnel.
Wait, L, let me say this really quick, because people are in the comments saying what alerts, YouTube alert. No, what we're saying is, if you live on the eastern coast and you're anywhere from North Carolina up to New York, Connecticut, all these states, our phones have been going off with alerts because there have been multiple earthquakes that has just taken place in different areas. And someone tried to say it was one earthquake and it was just aftershocks going through. No, other people are now saying, no, our state confirmed we had an actual earthquake. It was not an aftershock. So there was one in North Carolina, one in New Jersey, and one in Delaware. And now what Elle just said is that they're sending out alerts, correct, Elle?
Yes.
Correct. Just between New York, Jersey, and New York, like the Brooklyn Bridge is closed as we speak. The Queens is closed. They checking it for structural damage, supposedly. But like I told you guys, when we go out to defend our country from other countries and we go to other countries, the first thing that we do is we take down the bridges. We isolate and we contain.
Don't forget Baltimore just went down and they still are not talking about what happened. How did this
And then
cargo ship conveniently lose power and all kinds of stuff. They're not talking about anything with that situation. The first thing our president came out and said was, oh, the federal government is going to get the bridge back up. We're going to pay to get it back up. And I'm like, hold up. This cargo ship is owned by very rich people and they have insurance. Why are they not paying to put the bridge back up? Why are they not filing an insurance claim?
Look, I know it
someone
might
said-
not make sense, but I was speaking to a marine biologist. He's actually one of my Navy guys. And he was explaining to me, it's like, yo, listen, the current of El Nino is shifted like 300 feet away from where he was. And then he tells me, you know, that does something that's not so good because we start desalination of certain areas. And if the moon controls, right, the tides, with desalination happening, we're getting fresh water that's now able to freeze. The reason why some water don't freeze is because it's sea salt water. It's not just the Caribbean, it's the minerals within it.
Let me tag in on that real quick. You're talking about the moon. Let me put a focus on the reality of what's really happening. Okay. Now, I'll make it real short, sweet, and simple. There is a radar that you can look out because I utilize it on my live stream. It's called the Iswood Batres Magnetosphere Radar. It's a satellite out in space that utilizes its convenience of showing the Earth and surrounding objects or planets that come near. Years ago, another solar system approached and started to intertwine with the so-called solar system that you have here, with your planets that you know of. And it pushed the planets. It pushed the moon. People have been claiming for the past several years and doing live streams, videos of the moon. They call it doing cartwheels. It was doing several movements within a several hour time span. What is really happening is the other solar system has planets. You got it, different names for it. Call it Planet X, Nibiru, you name it. It has another sun to it. You can't see that other sun and solar system billowing off with the red iron oxide. Look at your sun.
That's why we got
Look at your sunsets
and 3 moons.
Y'all talk. I don't play tennis. You can see that other solar system coming closer. This is why your weather has been the way it is. This is why we only had 2 days of winter in Ohio. This is not to scare anyone. This is happening right now. It's not
you
no.
guys just had an earthquake, right, Mark?
Pardon me? Yes.
You guys just had an earthquake and you're on the New Madrid line.
That's correct. We're here in Dayton, Ohio. And it has been trembling here. You do not see all earthquakes reports. We are on the New Madrid fault line. What is happening is that fact that when that planet pushes in, the closest planet to Earth is the moon. The moon will create a high tide, which is phenomenal, beyond your imagination. This is why the U.S. Navy map that you can Google and look at yourself.
Thank you. That's where I am.
Has the depiction of how the land will be. And yes, Dayton, Ohio. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I lived in North or sir, whoever put that comment. Dayton, Ohio did have an earthquake for the past several days. It was very minor, and I felt the vibrations. I lived through the earthquake in Northridge, California, San Fernando Valley in 1994. I'm sorry. I know what the vibrations feel like, but I'm not here to debate and play tennis. I'm just here to drop knowledge and keep it moving. The bottom line
No,
is
yeah, yeah,
this: today's your last day to stock up for free by going to all the
Yes.
pantries that you can. If you don't do it, your ass out of luck. Don't come to my house looking for food. Don't go to your friends because everybody's going to be a me-fi-eye when they go down. Bottom line.
That's so true. That's so true. Guys,
Big
listen,
fact.
the man is
Big fact,
speaking.
Mark. Hey. Yeah.
My ex-military. I got connections somewhere where they feeding me some information that they telling me, stock up on food and water, prepare yourself for at least 3 days to 4 of severe extreme weather. Due to this situation.
I'm gonna tell you guys this. Southern California, it's never been this weather is weird because it's like antifreeze. It's like when you get in your car and you turn on your cooler. Like this air is different. Like if I go outside and my lungs just get. We are, bro. And like honestly, like people that we speak upon like this type of stuff. Oh, you're crazy.
Right,
Nah,
because I
I
see
know
comments,
what's
people
up.
talking about we didn't have no earthquake here. Google it. Ohio had earthquakes, and we had felt the vibrations here in Dayton. And I'm not going to debate about it because, see, the messages are not for everyone to receive. The message is not for to save everyone.
Brother. Say it again,
And
brother.
the fact that I know for a fact it will wipe out majority of the populations and those that are aware and continue on that will transcend after all the chaos and calamity. So I'm not going to debate those on there. Please go right ahead. Don't think that's just normal, a truck going down Gettysburg. Please go ahead and think that. I want you to, because there will be more food and supplies for me and my family, because we ain't got to think about you because you're going to perish.
That's kind of messed up, but
No,
anyway.
it's a fact. You got to tell motherfuckers straight up sometimes, or you're fucked yourself.
You guys, I just Googled.
And on top of that,
Dayton, Ohio had an earthquake, 2.2 minor earthquake over the weekend. I just Google it. I saw it there. So
Yeah, they
wherever you are, you may not have felt it. You may have thought it was just a little bit of vibration or whatever, but it did say it had a earthquake over the weekend in Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah, they definitely did. And then New Jersey and New York had one recently. I think it
We've
was
been
like
having them
last night.
constantly every few hours. We've been having them with a separation of anywhere between 5 and 7 hours.
And the smaller earthquakes aren't going to really be significant, but they are happening. The smaller
In a city of
earthquakes
8
are
million people,
happening.
they don't want to create mass hysteria, so they're not going to report it right away unless it's felt or
Yeah.
reported in social media. Y'all do realize this, right? The reason why we report some things is because the government can no longer contain them.
And I
They
just,
are on
that's why I
social
was
media.
quiet when Mark was speaking, because I started seeing 2 or 3 people in the comments saying I live in Dayton and there was no earthquake. So that's why I said, let me go in, because I always like to do my little checks myself when people are saying stuff. And I Googled it. Did Dayton, Ohio have an earthquake in the past 8 days? And it said it had a 2.2 magnitude minor earthquake in Dayton, Ohio, near the fault line, New Madrid fault line.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then
I mean,
what
the
the
information
people
is there if you want to put it in. I mean, it gets exhausting. That's why I said to people, I don't go back and forth. I'm just gonna say what I have to say. If you're not okay with it, if you don't agree with it, that's perfectly fine. You can move along to another live and express yourself there. I'm not gonna be the battle person going back and forth. What I'm saying is there are too many things going on. You can either be safe or sorry. I would rather aim on the side of being safe than sorry. And
I
if
agree with you.
nothing
absolutely.
if nothing happens during this eclipse, perfect, beautiful. But things are happening before, leading up to it. I believe something is going to happen during it that they're so badly. I believe it's going to be an increased amount of things happening. You have the doomsday fish coming up out of the depths of the ocean. Anybody on here who knows what the doomsday fish is?
Yes,
And
it's a
they've been
fish that
seeing
lives in
them
the
left and right lately.
Yeah, they live in the
what is
church.
that telling you? The
Yeah, they live in the
doomsday
church.
fish is this long, like clear white.
Yeah, they live in the church.
that literally does not show itself. It stays so deep in the ocean, it does not show
Exactly.
itself.
The Mariana Trench.
Yeah,
And the
exactly.
minute these fishes start coming up, people say there's either a cataclysmic event going on, like a tsunami, earthquakes, volcano. Something always happens when these fishes start to emerge themselves.
It's the magnetic field are shifting. Just watch 2012. I mean, if you guys want to get really freaked out, I hope that's not gonna happen. But
And
the way
nobody's trying to
Nostradamus,
freak nobody out. And that's what I'm just trying to tell people. We're not
yeah,
trying
no,
to
but
freak
like
nobody out. But the bottom line is, wouldn't it be better if you just be safe than sorry? I'm
Yep.
just
yeah, but I just hope it's not gonna be like that, like Nostradamus's prediction, because he was a G of, like, you know, being a psychic, and his map, oh bro, like look that up. That is
It's not a
crazy.
science,
Like
it's new
it's
astrology.
I'm trying to get you guys up on the panel that's been sitting in
Astrology
here.
right now is letting us know.
I'm trying to get people up on the panel that's been sitting
Astrology
in
is
there,
something.
Al and Mick, so that let me get some of these people up. Okay, I'm
Hesitate to
gonna
comment
drop
them
you
down
guys
below. This deal
and
will
then
end in a
come
few
back
more
up,
days,
okay?
so you should grab it when this offer of more than 25% off disappears. It will return to the full price of $1.40. If you have any questions as you're joining in, please message me.
Okay, I don't know what was going on there. I'm trying to get some of the people that are in that's trying to come up. I'm gonna go ahead and bring you guys up.
Look, can I say something real
Go
quick?
ahead while I'm bringing people up.
So I'm looking at a lot of the comments, and I'm saying everybody's saying, oh, you know, a 2.2 isn't nothing, a 3.2 isn't nothing. But what you're not understanding is these are micro earthquakes. They are leading up to a major event, regardless whether you think so or not. Just looking at what happened in Taiwan, that was a 7.9. That was off the scale that we have today. So if you're not paying attention to what's happening, not just in your neck of the woods, but all the way around the globe, then you will understand that these things are leading up to something bigger. You understand what I'm saying? You always got to pay attention to the breadcrumbs.
Okay, Libra gotta hold up. Let me let Az here. Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, go ahead. Valander, can you please mute your mic? Before Azir say anything, can you guys tap the screen, like this live, share it, because I keep getting a connection thing, and that's when I know I'm glitching because nothing is happening, and you guys aren't liking the live or sharing. And I just want to hear everybody's opinion, because it does matter. It does matter to hear everybody's opinion, whether we agree or don't agree. It's fine, because our opinion is our own, and it's as simple as that. But go ahead, Azir.
Yeah, I wanted to say a few things. I just know for certain that whatever the government has, we don't know about. Their technology is far beyond our understanding. They've been intermingling with things outside of this world that's well beyond our understanding as well. We have to, number one, I say forget the 2 weeks of food and water. We need at least 3 to 6 months worth of food and water because we don't know how long this thing is going to last. We just know something's coming up and something is going to happen. That's one thing.
People don't seem to believe that, and that's fine. That's why I'm going to let them believe what they want to believe. It's as simple as that.
They're going to be very sorry. You would thank yourself now. You would thank yourself now that things probably aren't going to happen, but you are going to thank yourself once things come down. You have that 3 to 6 months worth of food and water. Even if nothing comes down and we're all fine within the next year or so, you still have 6 months of food and water that you can use after the fact. Why not be smart now? Get that 3 months worth of 6 water just in case something happens. Get that bug out bag just in case something happens. And if it doesn't, you're fine anyway. That makes no sense. Why not make the smart move?
Why not be safe than sorry?
Right. That makes no sense. So when people aren't understanding that, you're not really helping yourself in any way.
And that's why that's why I literally say it the way I say it. If you don't agree, that's fine. It's fine. Us speaking about this, us all hearing each other's opinion, it's only going to prepare us for whatever we need to be prepared for. But if you don't feel that we need to be prepared for anything, that's fine as well. So this may not be the live for you, and you may need to move on to the next live. And the ones that want to be in the comments and say, oh, well, you guys are just delusional, and I don't have to move on to the next live. This is an open forum. I don't have a problem muting your comments, because then if you're quiet, you'll eventually go.
Oh, yeah.
But go ahead, Nat.
There's one other thing I wanted to say.
Okay.
When it came to that bridge, I know for a fact that the person that owned that bridge also cashed out on the same insurance from the what is it called? From the Twin Towers collapsing. That's the same exact person. And the reason why they didn't in the first place go and use their insurance is because when you go ahead and use that insurance, there's always an investigation to follow that insurance. So when we pay for it, the tax dollar, with our tax dollars, with our own money, they don't need to do an investigation on whatever happened at that bridge. That's the only reason why
and that was one of the things. That was one of the things people were questioning. Is like, why are we just jumping all of the sudden and saying, "Oh, we're the federal government"? Because when they say the federal government, they mean us, the taxpayers, are going to pay to replace that bridge. But then they got the black box from the ship, and literal 2 minutes are missing or disrupted, from what I understand, on that black box, which is the 2 minutes of when that ship went out of control and then hit the bridge at the exact point where it was going to take the whole bridge down. Then they also said that the anchor was dropped on port side, but if it was dropped on the port side, then there was no way that we could see the starboard side of the ship. But it's just a whole different thing. It's crazy. It's a whole crazy situation. So I don't know. It's just crazy to me. But thank you. Nat, are you there?
Hi, yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Everyone's saying like, we're being conspiracy theorists or whatever. They've always said that there would never be a hurricane in New York City, and when Sandy happened, I was telling people, listen, there is a possibility. Everyone was like, no, there wasn't. And I was working on Roosevelt Island at that time. We got flooded galore. Like, it was really bad. We lost electricity a couple of days. Now, moving forward, when the pandemic was happening, I noticed that the sun just didn't seem right. It looked really odd. I kept telling my friend, do you see the sun? It looks much bigger. I don't know. It was just like clouded over, or it looked like it just looked. It never looked it didn't look normal. Like, I would always be the one to look up to the skies and such. So I really tell people things are about to get worse. Please be prepared. That's all I'm saying. Like, just please be prepared. Whether you think we're conspiracy theorists or whatnot, there's just a lot of weird things happening. And that's all I really want to say. And I hope that everybody stays safe everywhere. Thank you.
Did they glitch me out again?
Yeah, for a second.
See, that's
I gotta say one last thing. I want to say that a lot of the stuff that's happening now is very biblical. So if I could say anything to this 879 people that's on this live right now, is y'all can get close with God today, and it's free. Y'all could have a relationship with God today, and it's free. He's the only one that can get us out of this. He's the only one that can save us. And if you believe in him, you can have everlasting life. Amen. That's all I got to say.
Amen. Amen.
Have a good one.
Amen. All right. Nat.
Yeah, that's all I want to say. I really think people should take into consideration of what's happening. And then if we think about it, if the heat is rising, the oceans are warming up exponentially. What happens is heat activates bacteria, and people are like, what are you talking about? You know how we have air conditioning in hospitals? It's so that bacteria stays away. So there's going to be more famine. They're talking about dengue and mosquitoes in Puerto Rico. That's where I'm currently at, and such like that. So just be careful of the A lot of people have been getting sick recently as well with respiratory sicknesses, norovirus. So just please be careful, everybody.
I'm telling
You know what I mean?
You say that, but let me just say this real quick. I had been sick for the past 7 days, a week and a half, with something that just came out of nowhere. I mean, physically, I was feeling fine, but I had massive congestion, and it wasn't even in my chest. It was more like in my throat.
well, you know, these days.
In a doorway to make sure that you are safe. Please also make sure that you're checking your utilities, that you know how to turn them on and off, especially if you are a property owner. With that said, who am I turning it over to? Chancellor Banks. Chancellor Banks. I'll turn it over to Chancellor Banks for an update on this schools. Thank you.
Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good afternoon, everyone. So the earthquake was felt across the entire city and across many of our schools across all 5 boroughs. In fact, I was at LaGuardia High School at an event this morning when the earthquake hit. I did not personally feel it, but many people in the room felt it. So first and foremost, what's most important to understand is we want to emphasize that we've received no reports of any injury to staff or students. And that's the most important thing, and safety is our top priority in ensuring that everyone is safe in our schools. Immediately following the earthquake, our teams, both within New York City Public Schools and across the city, immediately jumped into action. We've been in close and constant communication with City Hall, the Office of Emergency Management, School Construction Authority, and other of our buildings were compromised. And our facility staff at the School Construction Authority are quickly and thoroughly inspecting buildings to ensure a safety. And out of an abundance of caution, we've assembled all of our building response teams as well. So we've instructed all of our school principals to continue operations and dismissal as normal. We ask the school staff and families to remain calm and to model that for all of our students, all of our children. Parents do not need to pick up their child early as a result of today's earthquake. Additionally, all after-school programs will continue as planned. If conditions change, our schools will communicate directly with families. We also will post updates on our social media pages, which can be found at NYC Schools. I want to thank all of our school staff and our facility staff for keeping our students safe during times like these. Their professionalism in the face of an emergency is a role model for all of our students. Again, the top lines, all of our students across the school system are safe. All of our staff are safe. We have no reports of any structural damage to any of our school facilities, while many schools in fact felt some tremors from the earthquake. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chancellor. Next, we'll hear from Buildings Commissioner Jimmy Otto.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Let me say right at the outset that we at the Department of Buildings have not seen an influx of calls regarding building damage, but we want all New Yorkers to know that our team is ready. We are putting on additional construction and engineering professionals from this point on over the weekend. So if reports do come in, we will be ready to respond. Our construction enforcement unit is out doing inspections similar to what we do prior to big storms. There are 1.1 million buildings in the city, which means we need cooperation from construction professionals. We've messaged that to them, but let me take this opportunity again to remind all of our construction professionals, you need to go out and check on your buildings, even if those sites are closed, and determine that the sites are secure. And if you see any conditions that are troublesome, please reach out to the department. This is a time for that tried and true saying, if you see something, say something. So to New Yorkers, we at the Department of Buildings are concerned about some of the downstream possibilities, cracks that you might see that may materialize and manifest in a week or a month, or scaffolding, retaining walls. If you see something that is problematic, please call 311. This weekend, we will have an increase in our emergency response team. We've mobilized our borough operations and our special ops folks so that if our sister agency, the fire department, or any of our partners in government or the public report an increase in locations, we are at the ready to respond.
Thank you, Commissioner. Next, we'll hear from Con Ed President Matt Ketschke.
So thank you. So for our energy delivery system, energy infrastructure, there were no impacts from this event. We continue to monitor them. Our critical energy infrastructure is continuously monitored. During the course of the event, we saw no change in status for our energy infrastructure. We do have a series of protocols for after another earthquake event. We have initiated those. Those involve inspecting our critical facilities and working through all our facilities for inspection. Those inspections are ongoing. We haven't identified any issues. In the case of an earthquake, one of the things that from the energy side we would be concerned about is the potential for gas leaks. So I encourage, if you smell gas, either call 911 or 1-800-75-CON-ED and report the gas leak. Do not assume that somebody else has reported. So if you smell gas, call us or call 911 immediately. Otherwise, we'll continue our inspections and all looks good. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Next, we'll hear from MTA CEO Jana Lieber.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Mayor Adams and Commissioner Iscol. I want to reassure New Yorkers that the service on the transit system, all aspects of the transit system, maintain continuously operating safely throughout the incident and has continued right to now. I've been in touch with the President of all the MTA agencies, starting with Bridges and Tunnels. Kathy Sheridan, the President of MTA Bridges and Tunnels, is here, but also New York City Transit, Long Island Railroad, and Metro North. Initial inspections of all the facilities have been completed, and there are initial further inspections ongoing, emphasizing that the 7 bridges operated by MTA have been inspected, and I want to emphasize those